When we're thinking new things, we're developing new habits. And when we develop new habits, our brain is going to form a neural connection to reinforce that habit. And the more we practice shifting the limiting belief, flipping that pancake, the more we reinforce that new mental habit. Heyo, what's up? My name is Nat and I am your mindset coach, here to support you in shifting your internal world so that you're showing up that much more powerfully in your business and in your external world. I'm so excited for today's teaching. Today we're going to be diving into shifting limiting beliefs. This is so foundational to mindset work. This is really just the bread and butter of starting to really change the way that you think. And so I'm going to go through a really quick little process of how we can start thinking differently. I'm so excited to dive in. I'm a little dressed up right now because we are actually going to a wedding a little bit later today. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just film the YouTube teaching while I look cute? So Charlie's actually also here. Charlie has the cutest bandana ever. Do you guys want to see it? Let me show you. Charlie, show them your bandana. Show them your bandana. It says, Tengo hambre. Wow. Who's the most handsomest baby? I'm so obsessed with him. I love my charts. Anybody have a wiener dog? People who have wiener dogs know the wiener dog life. It is truly unlike any other dog life. I never thought I could love a little creature as much as I love him, but they also have just their own personalities, and I'm so obsessed with him and I love him, and I've bought him 4 bandanas in the past 3 weeks just because he has to have one for the seasons and he has to have one for just his different personalities and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed that little char moment. Magical char moment. We call him a little magical creature. Okay, cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into today's teaching. As always, if you're not subscribed yet, strongly recommend that you subscribe so that every Sunday at 6 p.m. PST, you can see the new mindset teaching that pops up. And then also, last week we had a teaching, so I'll go ahead and I will tag that up here for you guys. Make sure you check it out just in case you haven't seen it just yet. So today we're talking about shifting limiting beliefs. So what exactly are limiting beliefs? A belief is a thought pattern. A belief is something that we identify as truth based off of what we were taught, based off of our perceptions, and based off of our experiences. And so when we're shifting limiting beliefs, we are shifting and changing the way that we're thinking, not just on a surface level, but also on a foundational level. From ages 0 to about 8 or 10 is when our foundational belief systems are formed in our minds, because our little brains are sponges and it's just picking up lots of different things from our environments, from our parents, and our brains are going to form truths or beliefs or perspectives based off of what we're seeing, based off of what others are experiencing around us. And so a lot of your beliefs are dependent on your environment. A lot of beliefs are dependent just based off of your parents' upbringing and your parents' experiences. And so please just know that there are a lot of things that we don't have control over with acquiring our limiting beliefs throughout the beginning of our life. But the amazing thing about this work, our brains have cognitive capabilities. Our brains have a lot of plasticity. And the amazing thing is that we can always change our minds. We can always learn something new. This is what I love about mindset work. It doesn't matter about your past. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It could be the most traumatizing, the most difficult, the most challenging thing ever. And we get to process that, but then you always get to choose something new. You always get to choose new thought patterns. You always get to choose a new way of showing up in the world and showing up in your business. So we're going to go ahead and go through a super easy process. I like to call it the pancake flip method. And I originally learned this 3-step process from one of my mentors. Her name is Amanda Francis. I strongly recommend her. She is big in the personal development space when it comes to money mindset. I can't recommend her teachings enough. I've learned a lot from her, and she's also one of my good friends. And so I originally learned this 3-step process, and then I made it my own with the pancake flip method. But basically, the 3-step process of shifting limiting beliefs goes with identify the limiting belief, identify the thought pattern that you're currently in that's holding you back, that's limiting, that's not helpful. Step number 2 is ask yourself, is this true? Is it actually true? Is this something that I want to take with me moving forward in my business and in my life? And step number 3 is identify what is the new belief? What is the thing that is true? What is the thing that I want to take with me moving forward? And so this 3-step process is pretty simple. And I like to think of it as flipping a pancake. So identifying a limiting belief. Is it true? No. What is the ultimate truth? Boom, flip that pancake and go ahead and reinforce the new thought pattern until your brain starts identifying that as truth. So a little bit of science for you guys, because I'm big on the science side of things, and I'm going to oversimplify the science behind this particular thing that I'm going to tell you, but I hope that it lands, and I hope it seems a little bit more real to those of you who have a hard time grasping mindset work, have a hard time grasping the inner work and grasping the stuff that goes on in here. So whenever we form new beliefs, we're teaching our brain to reinforce a new mental habit. And our brain will form neural connections reinforcing a new way of thinking. And the more we reinforce a way of thinking, the stronger that neural connection between it's not just two neurons. Our brains are so complex. I don't think we can even begin to grasp the complexity of how many neural connections there are around different beliefs and how some of them are interconnected. But in the simplest way, when we're thinking new things, we're developing new habits. And when we develop new habits, our brain is going to form a neural connection to reinforce that habit. And the more we practice shifting the limiting belief, flipping that pancake, the more we reinforce that new mental habit that we want to choose. And we're choosing it on a conscious level. But the more and more we reinforce that new thought, that new mental habit, the more it's going to become stronger in our brain, the more it's going to become truth in our brain. And with time, our brain is also just going to automatically think, feel, and perceive that without you consciously knowing. Now, we have a lot of neural connections in our mind from our past, from limiting beliefs. And so those will still be there. But with time, the more we reinforce a new neural connection, an expansive mental habit, the less that limiting neural connection, the limiting belief, the less that mental habit and those neural connections, the less those will be reinforced. And with time, those will get smaller, those will get weakened. And sure, once in a while they'll fire and that limiting belief will pop up. But more times than not, when we're consciously reinforcing the new thought pattern, the new mental habit, the new belief, the expansive belief, that's what our brain is going to focus on strengthening. Now, I want to say that yes, there's a lot of our brain that's happening subconscious. 90% of our brain is operating subconsciously, whereas 10% of our brain is operating consciously. And so I know that there is a lot in the personal development space on hypnosis. And I do think that hypnosis can be very valuable to be able to access the part of our subconscious minds that we aren't able to just consciously grasp all of the time. But the reason why I strongly encourage shifting limiting beliefs on a conscious level is because we have to consciously choose a new way of thinking and a new way of doing, a new way of being in order to integrate into our lives. Let me tell you what I mean by that. People don't just get hypnotized to be able to speak a brand new language. They don't just listen to this hypnosis to have it really programmed to their subconscious mind, and then they just wake up and they're able to speak this whole new language. In order to learn a new language, it's going to take conscious, intentional choosing to reinforce the new neural connections in your brain around that language. And not only are you speaking that language, but you're also thinking in that language, and there's some mental processes involved with that too. So there's so much value in consciously being able to shift limiting beliefs in this way. There's so much value in being able to consciously choose new thoughts over and over and over again to start creating new experiences, because we're actually teaching our brain new habits, new mental habits. And when you create new mental habits, you have to choose them over a period of time in order for them to become forever habits or habits for a specific period. We're not just sitting and listening to something consciously and boom, all of a sudden everything that we learn, everything that we want to do moving forward is just programmed into our minds because we've accessed our subconscious mind. So I'm not talking shit about hypnosis. But I am saying that there's value in being able to recognize how powerful just consciously choosing new thoughts over and over and over again and making that flip over and over and over again, how there's so much value in realizing that you have the power to do that. And also, there's a lot of value in the journey of learning how to do that and seeing how you feel differently when you think differently. So what I encourage you guys to do this week with shifting limiting beliefs is I want you to pick what is one limiting thought that you have that you notice is getting in the way of how you're showing up in your business. It could be something as simple as an imposter syndrome thought, or it could be something as simple as a worthiness or enoughness thought. It's like, I'm not worthy and deserving of all the success that I desire. And you notice that this thought keeps popping up and it's getting in the way of your action taking. I want you to pick one limiting thought. I want you to sit with, is this actually true? Is it true that I'm not worthy and deserving? Is it true that I'm an imposter in my space and I don't know what I'm doing? Answer is no. Flip that pancake and identify the truth. What is it that's ultimately true? I'm worthy and deserving of my desires because I'm alive, because God decides worthiness, and I know that in the eyes of God, I'm a child of God. I'm so loved. I'm so precious. The universe loves me. The universe absolutely wants to gift me. So of course I'm worthy and deserving of my desires. No, I'm not an imposter in my space. I'm actually freaking incredible at what I do. More people need the tools that I have. And from this moment forward, I choose to embrace my gifts and my talents and my knowledge more than ever so that it can be inserted into the world and change more lives. So I want you to go through that process. And I want you to recognize that every time the limiting thought pops up, we don't have to be mad. We don't have to be upset. We just get to see that as an opportunity to shift. It's an opportunity of, oh, my brain is on autopilot and it's reinforcing the neural connection and the mental habit that I've gotten used to thinking for so long. Oh, I consciously recognize it. Oh, I consciously hear it and see it. You know what? In this moment, I'm going to flip that pancake and I'm going to think something else. And the more we get in the habit of catching ourselves and thinking a new thought, then that thought is going to influence our feelings. And then those feelings are going to influence our action taking. And then our action taking is then going to move forward the results that we want to feel in our business and the results that we want to experience in our business. And it all starts with shifting your thoughts, shifting your beliefs, shifting your way of thinking, and reinforcing new mental habits and reinforcing new perspectives that are more aligned with the goals that you want to achieve. So your homework is going to be to see if you can catch yourself in that limiting thought pattern. But I want to say it's pretty unrealistic to think that you're going to catch yourself every time. I don't think that we can catch ourselves every time when we're thinking a limiting belief, when we're thinking a limiting thought. I think that's kind of impossible unless you're super, super in tune with your thoughts, super, super in tune with yourself. So just know that you don't have to catch every time you think the limiting thought. You just need to catch it a little bit more than you did yesterday. And then you need to catch it a little bit more to reinforce the new thought a little bit more than this new thought was being reinforced the previous day or the previous week or the previous month. So release the pressure off of needing to be perfect. Just see that your conscious choosing of reinforcing a new thought pattern. See that as enough. See that as moving you forward. See that as forming new neural connections and developing new mental habits. And run with it and let me know how it goes. I'm so excited for you guys to implement this. It's really just so easy. It's easy. It's an easy process, but it's challenging to uphold. It's challenging to see whenever the limiting thought pops up and we get discouraged, we get frustrated, but really you get to celebrate when it pops up and see it as an opportunity for you to consciously choose something else and then take action from that conscious place of choosing a new thought. So as always, if you guys want a little bit additional support, I strongly recommend my Mindset Kickstart course. It goes a little bit more in depth in this process of choosing new thoughts. And it goes a little bit more in depth on how can we really foundationally take care of our mindsets from the inside out. So I recommend that if you're a brand new beginner, and of course, if you're wanting a little bit more one-on-one support, I do have a one-time one-on-one call for brand new clients. And I do also have a long-term coaching program for those of you that are wanting to dive a little bit deeper into this work, have some accountability, and really have someone like me have a little bit of a more intimate view into your mind so that I can maybe see some things that you don't and help you to shift some things that you're having a little bit of difficulty shifting. So please know that I am always available for you guys whenever you're ready to say yes to doing this work. And also, I just love hearing from you, and I love having different topics recommended. So don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram or on Facebook. I love hearing from you guys. Keep up the great work. I'm so proud of you for being open to this work. So many people are not doing this work and they're wondering why things aren't working in their business. It's because their mindset isn't supportive of their action taking, but that's not you, because you're here, because you're committing to this work and you're committed to really shifting your internal world powerfully. So keep up the great work. I'm so proud of you, and I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, 6 p.m. PST. Bye.